Why socialists finally run out of other people's money. Ruled by the book bureaucracy. Can't plan. My last post, Ideologues Causing Humanity and Waste, was a spectacular failure. I tried to be too clever. Lengthy reference to a highly unfashionable industry talking about tactics was a dull mistake. Experience of shockingly bad management blinded me the need to prevent a hobby horse from ruining things. This is another effort to explain why the UK appears to be ruled by bureaucrats and things seem to be falling apart. Meanwhile, third-rate politicians pretend they're in charge, many only too happy to go along with the deception. Planning calls for strategy and tactics. Methodologies differ. Strategy refers to starting circumstances and objectives with outlined solutions of how to get from one to the other. In addition, a good plan allows some flexibility about objectives, in that it might be stupid to abandon implementation in the event things might look like it'll only be 90% successful. Several factors can apply, such as running out of money, shareholder action, loss of authority to complete such as significant political change, availability of alternative plans, events making the plan redundant, changes in ideology, technology, social upset, even war, and so on. The desirability of objectives can easily collapse depending on how circumstances change once implementation is underway. HST is one of many, many examples. Aside from issues with objectives, planning on a large scale cannot be successful without competent tactics. Anyone with a modicum of management experience will know of the inevitability of events upsetting a plan that insists it must be followed to the letter, ignoring changes in circumstances. Good management recognises the crucial importance of tactics, and that a failure to allow for insignificant, sometimes tiny detail can destroy otherwise successful grand plans. A bit of grit can bring a gigantic machine to a halt, as surely as if someone had thrown a spanner in the works. Tactics are vital. Detail matters. Hierarchy often undervalues them, and an argument can be made to pay tacticians as much as strategists. An alternative perspective is that all senior management need to be equally adept if they're to be any good at their job. Ideology is obsessed with planning and can't accommodate tactics because good tactical decision-making is beyond ideological prescription. This is the core reason why ideological governments of all hues end in waste and mismanagement, accompanied by oppressed and miserable populations. They're obsessed with strategy and dismiss tactics. It's still common to hear senior management, often with great pride, saying they're not interested in details. Detail is apparently for little people, and their time is far too valuable. The key is the ability to sense and attend to strategically important tactical detail, while including the need to hold contradiction or problems in stasis until circumstances change to make detailed solutions possible. It's about the grit in the machine. Ideologues are utopian and grand plan fixated. They believe tramline planning can successfully remove the need for good management by replacing it with bureaucracy, whose only duty is to enforce prescription while ignoring a need to engage with uncertainty, which is at the heart of tactics. Evidence of reality messing up the objectives of ideological planners is equally ignored and often cloaked by allegations of wrecking, blaming sections of the population. It can be a really nasty scene. Today in the UK, where in the past it was common to blame rich people or evil capitalists or whatever. The fashion now is to blame a very large section of legacy population and suggest that they're being led astray by society and the evils of legacy culture. I mean, it's the same trick to provide a cloak or disguise and refusing to attend to the real problem. There it is, the reason why socialism and most political ideologies let rip lead to waste, mismanagement, and inhumanity. For a plan that's right by definition, tactics at best distract and at worst deny unassailable truth. Strategy and tactics are equally important. Closed system, closed-minded ideology is the greatest enemy of efficient and cost-effective planning. It is also the greatest enemy of society. Well, thanks for listening. I think it's a little better than the previous effort. Still not quite right. I think the subject is hugely important because unless we get decent and effective management of the country, the working lives of people are liable to be wasted, and people loathe waste almost more than anything else because it is a form of contempt for human life. Bye for now.